How do you manage to bring yourself back to be able to then go and knock them out?
It's a combination. Your conditioning is going to play a factor in how you've trained up to that moment, right? So have I put myself in this scenario enough times that my body is going to be second nature? Or am I going to get hit or get in, not even just getting hit, I could get in an uncomfortable position on the ground. Have I rehearsed this enough in my mind at full speed, at half speed, at low speed?
What would happen if more people embraced discomfort?
You get comfortable with the uncomfortable and you could deal with situations a lot better, you know? Like anything from a wild dog to you get a flat tire, you gotta be able to like...
Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano, Natasha Graziano.
Welcome to the Law of Attraction Secrets podcast, the #1 podcast for self-help in the U.S.
Well, you guys, welcome back to the Law of Attraction Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Graziano, and today we have MMA superstar Jorge Masvidal. Doesn't even need a bio, but I'm going to give you a little bit anyway. He's an entrepreneur. He's one of the most recognizable figures in combat sports, known as the King of Miami, and we are here in Miami filming him today, which is so exciting. Jorge rose from fighting in backyard street fights to becoming one of the biggest names in MMA history, earning global fame through his fearless fighting style, record-breaking knockouts, boom, I've watched a few, and unapologetic authenticity. Welcome to the show, my lovely friend, Jorge Masvidal.
What an intro. What an intro. I've been introduced a lot in shows with that one respect.
Thank you, Bubba. Thank you. You are such a beautiful, beautiful soul, as I was just talking about. And I really am excited to get into it with you today because you're blowing up again online. You go through these phases where like over the years, boom, it's like you're trending. And I feel like you're just one of these people who people want to hear from, learn from, and they want to see you fight again. Like that's a thing.
We're working on that.
Yes, you know? King. Everybody want to see you fight again. Like you are so talented at what you do. So I got loads of cool things to ask you. How much of success comes down to heart versus talent?
Success in the cage or just success in general?
Success in general, because you do a lot of things, but success kind of, in life.
So there's what you just said, but where I get that is where I get my heart and where I get my talent. I get it from this one source. So if I don't mention that one source, it's like the heart and talent doesn't matter, because there's a lot of times like anybody I've been scared, or I'm like I don't know if I'm ready for this, whatever it be, whether it was fighting or anything in life. I've looked to a higher power always to give me that heart and to give me that talent to be able to do it. So first and foremost, I would mention always God. You know, I have a very close relationship with God, and that's where I get my talent. That's where I've gotten everything I got him from in this life is all because of Christ. I can't say it's my heart or my talent. For me, it was a combination of both. To when I didn't have maybe the will or the courage, I would ask God for it. And when I would really truly believe it and ask God, hey, I need this, God would make it happen for me always in many ways. But once we take that from aside, I think it's a combination of both. You need heart. Heart is like the gas for the plant. You come up with a blueprint in life and whatever it is. Mine was fighting, and I wanted to do fighting. But if you want to be selling clothes, you know, you're going to have to get a manufacturer. You're going to have to get a distributor. You're going to have to get influencers. You're going to have to get a video. All these things, you got to write them down the same way that I had to get coaches and stuff and plan that. You got to have both. You got to have that plan, and then you got to have the fuel for that plan. So I think both are kind of like the same. Like just redline both of them. Go as hard as you can on both of them.
What's the closest you've ever come to quitting?
It happened. I fought this fight for the UFC. They had switched up opponent. I was supposed to get this very high-ranking guy that was like number 1 or 2 at the time, and they pulled him from fighting me to move him to another fight, and instead had me fight another dude that he ended up becoming a very good fighter, but at the time he was still up and coming, and I lost a split decision to him. I dropped him twice in the fight. I never got dropped. I never got taken down. I took him down. It was like one of the biggest robberies still to this day the UFC had seen. And I lost a split decision, you know. It was just, like if I didn't kill that guy, literally, that he left there not on his own consciousness, they were never going to give me that fight, you know. So I left with a very bad taste in my mouth. And what made it worse is that I don't get dreams often in my life, but the night before this, I had a dream of the same exact thing that happened in the fight. And this has only happened to me in my life maybe like 4 or 5 times, and each one of them I remember like it was yesterday, you know.
Wow.
Very detailed. And I don't know, for some reason, I saw myself losing in that dream, the split decision. But the fight went the same, that I beat him up and I lost it. So when it happened, it hit me so hard that I was like, I'm done. I retire, you know. And I retired for like 2 days.
And what happened?
And I just got pissed off and I was upset. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let this thing stop me. I have so much gas in the tank. I have so much fucking fuel. Yeah, I've been, you know, when I was coming up in the MMA space, I would fight a lot of guys in their home country, still to this day. So the road kind of became my home. But there's some pros and cons to that. If I'm fighting a guy from like California and the 3 judges are from California, if I don't kill the guy, I'm kind of at their mercy. So this had happened to me in my career a couple times, but this one just very, very much hurt a lot because it was in the UFC, it was in the biggest stage, and it was in front of a lot of you know, people that were all supporting me that I won. Like the crowd went crazy. I wasn't from there, and they started throwing beers in the cage. That's how crazy it got. Like you could see the clips. It's all there.
Glass beers or plastic?
No, like plastics. They don't let you have glass here in
yeah.
the stadium. So they started getting their beers and throwing it in there. And the officials were getting wet. The referees were getting wet. So I was also very much like, not just mine, but the public opinion. And the websites online that they call fights. I remember at the time there was like 20 of them that we looked at. Like 17 of them said I won clear and it was a robbery. So I had a lot of proof behind that. So it made me hurt even more. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I quickly snapped out of it.
So you turned a setback into a comeback.
Yeah.
You turned a breakdown into a breakthrough.
Many times.
Okay, so why do some fighters break under pressure while others, like you, thrive?
That's a good question. There's many factors that go into it when it's fighting. And then it's also very simple. You know, one guy was mentally more ready than the other guy at a certain level, you know? And also styles also do make fights, right? This guy might have done everything in his life to be ready, but this one style that he was fighting, it was just, you know, very awkward style for him. So there's a lot of factors in fighting, but usually for success, in my opinion, you do have to be born with talent. But more than that talent, you gotta have that dog mentality and unlimited heart. Meaning, if things don't go your way, which in the world of fighting, you know, they say, popular saying in our thing is if you go swimming, you might get wet, you know? And in fighting, it happens. You're in a fight, you might get into an actual fight and it might get hard. And when it gets hard, you gotta push through that. You gotta power through that, and you do that through your training, through your day-to-day life. We don't necessarily have an off season. When we don't have a fight, we're training, getting ready for the next fight. So there's not an off season. A lot of other sports, you know, they have the off season where they're like training and stuff. We're training year round because the fight can come at any moment, you know. So I feel that you got to have probably a little bit more heart than talent in this sport.
So interesting. Okay, so what's the biggest misconception that people have about fighters?
I'll tell you what, all your misconceptions are right, because there's fighters we're coming all flavors, sizes, colors, races, and creeds. Like every misconception out there, you could find a fighter that maybe fits that, and at the same time you'd be surprised because the range is so broad. There's guys that went to top universities, got degrees, studied for 5 years, and they're some of the best fighters in the world. And then there's other guys that maybe didn't have nothing else in life, and all they ever did was this, and that's a complete other person. And in between that, there's numerous types of people. There's people that come from real money that didn't even have to go to school that fight, you know, because it's such a primal thing, especially for men. You know, women as well have it, but I don't think as much as men. Men really like have this primal urge to either watch fights
Right.
or be involved in it in some sort. You know,
How did you get into it? Like,
since a kid. It
oh,
was
so
the only thing.
your dad or something?
My dad says that since the age of like 2 years old to like 5 years old, there was these kung fu marathon on Saturdays that they would run, and it'd start like, I don't know, 10 in the morning to like 10 at night. And my dad says the only time a week, because I had a tremendous amount of energy and I couldn't sit down for anything. Anybody would tell you so. The only thing that would get me to sit still was powdered donuts and kung fu flicks on Saturday. And my dad says he'd leave me there for like 8 hours, and that was the only time a week when they got peace in the house.
Wow.
All the way till I was like a little bit later. You know, I was a real problem, my parents always said. So I had the combat in me since always. And then I would go, you know, so that was Saturday. Sunday I'd probably watch a little bit more kung fu, karate, whatever. And then come Monday to the daycare, I would like reenact what I learned.
Wow.
I have no recollection of this. I have no memories of this. But my dad says by the time I was like 5 years old, I had been kicked out of 4 daycares because I would keep getting in the fights. And I have no idea of this, why I could even be fighting, but it's like one of his favorite stories to tell. And when he tells me everything, that I would just spend the weekend watching Kung Fu, I'm like, well, it made sense. You know, you were setting me up for it. So as I got older, I discovered like boxing, and first, like when I was around 7, 8 years old, I fell in love with it. And then shortly after that, I discovered the UFC when I was like 11, 12 years old. I seen it on TV, and no, it was crazy. It was like the first time I ever felt in love, and I'd never been in love like that. Like, you know when you're watching a movie and like the music stops or it changes, and you know it's like a dramatic super scene? That's how it was the first time I seen UFC. I think I was just frozen. I just saw it and digested it.
Wow.
And examined it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. And shortly after that, I pledged my life to it. I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is just compete.
And that was the start of the beginning of the journey.
Yeah. And then by the age of 13, 14 years old, I knew this is what I was going to do the rest of my life.
Wow.
I had
Like
a
it
good
was
talk
just
with
that.
my dad, my mom, and I asked my dad for advice. And he said, yeah, I think this is the best thing for you. Because my 2 options at that time were, I'm either going to go to the Army and become like the special forces,
Right.
or I'm going to fight, you know, because these are the 2 things that I feel I have God-given abilities or I could push a lot more and maybe have more advantages than
Right.
the average man. So my dad at the time was incarcerated, so I waited to go see him. So me and my mom were there. My dad was serving 18 years and a half. So me and my mom go see him. And I've already talked to my mom about this, but when I first explained it to her, I was very young. I was like 12 years old. And I was like, Mom. And the thing is that this was on pay-per-view. You're too young to even probably know about this. But this was on pay-per-view in a little black box. That it was like illegal, you know, to have these boxes, right? So you get the pay-per-views for free.
Shit, I remember, no, we had something like this in the UK. Like if you wanted to watch the fights in America, like we'd stay up all night to like be able to watch them and like pay for these fucking random box things that were like totally illegal. I do remember this.
Yeah, I think they did have them later, the USB ones. But
Yes.
they used to be like a whole microwave-looking thing.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
no. So
and
this is
this
like,
had all the pay-per-views and all the crazy channels. So I was explaining to my mom, like, I seen these guys fight on the cage, and the winner made $50,000 one night, 4 fights, no gloves, no weight classes. But I was so young and dumb, I told my mom, listen, I got all of this figured out. This nonsense of us not eating, couch surfing, we got it. This is done. And my mom was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, listen here, lady. 4 fights, one night, $50,000. I'm gonna do this for us. And my mom's like, get your ass in the fucking room. Fucking idiot, you're 12 years old. What are you talking about? And I'm like, no, I'm serious, lady. Listen to me. There's a tournament going on. 16 men, 1 cage, Mom. The winner takes all. I'm going to prepare myself for this. My mom is like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually serious. And she was like, so obviously, it's my mother.
Yeah.
She was so against it. Hearing of her boy
Yeah.
getting in a cage
oh my
to
God.
fight other men.
Right.
This is not even known at the time. And the only way you could watch it is like on pay-per-view. So I have no real way of like showing my mom, because there's no YouTube yet. There's none of that. So I don't have a way of telling my mom this is what it is. So I just wait till we go to the prison to see my dad, and then I explained it to both of them there, exactly what I wanted to do. And my dad gave me the blessings. My mom was against it, of course, as she should have been. But then shortly after, she's like, whatever you end up picking, I'm gonna back you up. But my dad was like, yeah, man, this is what you're meant to do, you know.
Whoa. Okay, wait. I need to hear the next bit. How did you end up in backyard street fighting? Is that from here?
Yeah, it's straight from Miami, Florida. Not too far actually from where we're at right here. By coincidence, me and Kimball grew up not too far away from each other, and he also had friends, and I had friends that were kind of mutual and in common, and we end up at the same gym. And I had already been training there for some time, so now they go into the gym, they start getting ready for fights, for higher level fights. And the guys that are working with me at the time asked Kimball and his people, like, hey, we have a guy that's really, really good. Would you like stick around and watch him spar? Maybe you could put him on your show. He's hungry, he's young, we're trying to get him fights. And they were like, yeah, let's go. So at some point they came in and they saw me spar. And they just brought like a couple guys out for me, like 2-3 guys, and I beat the dog piss out of everyone. I went like extra because...
No gloves?
No, with gloves. This is in training. So
Okay.
with like hand wraps, gloves, headgear probably,
Yeah.
and like a mouthpiece, you know, and shin guards as well. So we went at it and I beat the crap out of the guys, and they were like, yeah, we could use them. We'll put them on the show. We'll give us some time. We'll find them a fight. So it took some time. I remember they disappeared for a little bit. And back then, those fights were very on the hush because they were illegal, actually. Like, you could go to jail if you were organizing things like that. They would hit you with like 3 or 4 different violations. Like, you organized, you know, fights underground without licensing. You endangered the crowd by all being there, like all types of things. So back then, it used to be like very quiet where you were gonna do these things or not. So at some point, they contacted me again, and it's like, hey, maybe like 4 or 5 months went by, so I didn't think it was gonna happen. They contact me and they go, hey, what's up? We got the fight. You still interested? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, okay, we'll be in contact soon. Stay in shape. And I was like, okay, perfect. Maybe like, I don't know, shortly after that, like weeks after that, they were like, all right, next Wednesday, I'm gonna call you like 10 in the morning and give you the address. Don't share it with nobody. Just show up with you and your crew, and we get this done. And I was like, okay. And that day came, and I remember it was already like maybe 11 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be like a nighttime thing or something. So I was starving, so I went to McDonald's. I was about to start placing my glorious morning breakfast meal, you know, because I had just worked out, so I was gonna refuel up. And the phone rings, and it's them. Like, hey, you got 2 hours, come over here. I was like, all right, got it. Left the drive-through line and picked up a couple friends of mine, a coach of mine, went over there, and as soon as I get there, I start warming up, and they're like, hey, Kimball wants to see you fight, so he's gonna fight first. And I go, no way I'm gonna get to see. I thought I was gonna be first, and then Kimball would close out, you know. I was like, that's crazy. I'm gonna get to see him fight, you know. So I'm there warming up, and I never can forget this. A black Escalade with the blackest tints you ever seen in your life pulls up, opens the door, more smoke than a fucking volcano comes out of the door. And Kimball hops out. He has his chain he used to have with his big old fist. He takes it out. He gives it to his boy Icy Mike. And he goes, I'm going to go get my bread. And he walks in there and he fights this professional boxer that was like 6'8", crazy, tall dude. And they throw down no warm up, no nothing. Kimball just gets in there, and they beat the crap out of each other. And Kimball ends up knocking him out. So I'm warming up, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm next. And the dude comes out that's organizing the whole thing. He's like, hey, the guy you're gonna fight, he's gonna fight somebody else and then you. So I get shocked. I go, what? Who am I fighting? Bruce Lee? Jackie Chan? And you go, no, he's gonna fight somebody else and he's gonna fight you. And I go, okay, that guy is either really fucking good or really fucking dumb. Cause I'm not, I got one speed. When it's competition time, I don't have nothing evil in me towards the other person, but it's only one speed. This is not like a basketball game where I can let you score and no big deal, I'll score some point. It's not a game like that, but I do look at it as a game in a sense, because after we fight, there's no ill will on my part ever. You know, people can take it there if they want, but on my side, generally, except one guy out of my 54 professional fights, there's only one person I don't get along with it whatsoever. Wow. But everybody else is like, I'll see him, I'll share a meal with him, catch up with him. There's no heat on either end for the most part, except this one individual. But other than that, you know, it's not like that to me. It's like if we played a basketball game, you know, but I'm going for the kill every time. So I'm thinking, if he's doing that, he must be really good or really dumb, because I'm going to try to kill him. And as I'm warming up, the guy comes running back, and he goes, my coach actually, with the other guy that organizes it, they come running back, and my coach goes, keep your left hand up. He has a really, really good right hand. I go, what does that mean? He goes, the fight's over. It literally lasted like 12 seconds. You could see it online. He fights another guy before me. It's like 12 seconds. He cleans his clock.
Oh my God.
He drops him like a building.
Oh no.
Flat on his face. Boom. And they bring me out. And the guy's pretty jacked. He's like 225. And he's like, hey, bring that skinny motherfucker out. Come on, bring him out. And back then I was really, really skinny. I was like $168. You know, so I get out there and I'm like, all right, let's go. David versus Goliath moment. And I know this guy could fight, you know. So I know these guys brought me somebody that came to scrap, and it ended up being a great fight. I mean, to this day, it's one of the fights that I'm most recognized for. You know,
Who won?
Me. Thank the Lord.
Dang, that's amazing. This is such a good story. So, which was your best fight? Like your favorite fight to date? You've done 55 by the sound of it. 54. Like, which was your favorite fight?
To tell you the truth, that as crazy as it sounds, they all have like a very special place in my heart, because they all involve the training camp, a win or a loss, me having to do some type of sacrifice where I was away from my family, working myself to exhaustion. Like every fight to me is special, and if I didn't have this fight, then I wouldn't have gone to this next fight. So I kind of hold them all in like equal value, because I the whole experience of it, win or lose, was always like the best time in my life. You know, I can't complain.
So powerful. What's the biggest lesson that everyone can learn from fighting?
There's numerous lessons. I mean, you got like 90 minutes.
We have your time.
Obviously the cliche one, but it's like, you're gonna get knocked down. It's just, are you willing to get up?
Ooh.
Are you willing to, knowing that shot hurt, you got put down, and then if you get up, there's gonna be more heat coming your way. It's not gonna stop. You're not gonna get up and the guy facing you is like, oh, I'm gonna take it easy on him, I'll knock them down. No. This other person his adrenaline is actually gonna start pumping throughout his body. If he was tired, he's gonna get faster and stronger now for like at least 20, 30 seconds of adrenaline, because he came close to finishing you. So you know your mountain is that much bigger now. But that means you got to make yourself that much taller now. That means you got to come at him way, way, way more aggressive, more calculated. And life is going to teach you that, like, no matter how much of a rock bottom you hit, it don't matter. Just look up and put everything towards getting up. You know?
It's so true. I always tell people, it's not about how many times you fall down. It's about how many times you get back up.
Every time.
Every time. Can you get back on your feet? Can you come back to life and bounce back? Every time. I've had to do it so many times in my life. I've been thrown to the floor in so many ways, told I was never going to do it, told I was never going to make it. And I was like, I am not going to stay down. I'm going to get back up. Like the way I watch fights. They get back up. And you know, sometimes out of it, how do you handle that, right? When you're in the ring or the cage and you're like out of it or not quite, but you're with it, but you're like, oh my God, maybe you just got hit like a bit strong. How do you manage to bring yourself back to be able to then go and knock them out?
It's a combination of things. Your conditioning is going to play a factor in how you've trained up to that moment. Right? So have I put myself in this scenario enough times that my body is going to be second nature? Or am I going to get hit or get in, not even just getting hit, I could get in an uncomfortable position on the ground. Have I rehearsed this enough in my mind at full speed, at half speed, at low speed, numerous times in this preparation for this, that I don't even have to think about how to get out of this position. My body's just reacting and doing it because we're one, you know? So that's something very, very important, is that your preparation was correct for the fighting. Because when you're fighting, a lot of the times, especially now since the field's gotten so more competitive, I'm fighting another kid that, just like me at 7, 8 years old, was training his whole life for this moment. So I'm not just fighting a random guy from the street that trains for the last 5, 6 years. No, I'm fighting another young little killer that grew up into a full man. So it's at the highest levels of competition, you know. And everything counts, and your preparation is a big, big part of it. Obviously, your mind is also the next thing, or probably the most important thing, because you could be in great shape, but if your mind isn't there, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a famous saying: whether you think you can or you think you can't,
Yep.
you're right.
I love that. Let's talk about the mindset for a minute. I want to talk about the bare-knuckle fighting and all that shit because it's so exciting. But I love the way that somebody has tenacity, and I believe it comes down to mindset. I believe that we are what we think we are, like you say. You know, if you think you're right, you are. And so I believe whatever the mind can conceive and believe in prayer, it can receive. And so when we are in those places, if we have a strong mindset, preparation meets opportunity, which equals success. So if we are built constantly on believing something is possible, if we are listening to podcasts, tapes, books, whatever it is that is drilling your mind, building a belief system to know I can achieve anything, I can be anything. That's how I became a motivational speaker. I was listening to other motivational speakers saying you can get out of this pain, you can transform your life. And I was sick at the time, and I was thinking, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? But I knew I was going to change my life, and I knew I was going to get out of the debt, and I was going to get out of being a single mom someday, and I was going to do all this stuff and go on and be a role model in the world. And that conditioning of my mind over and over, even to this day, I sleep with abundance meditations on at night, or healing meditations on all the time, so that I am programming my mind to be so strong. It's like a toolkit, right? You feel like you have a
Just like
toolkit?
your body.
Right.
Just like your body, you're doing abs. You want to get those summer abs, what do you got to do? You got to go to the gym. It's the same thing for the mind. There's gymnastics for the mind as well, you know. There's many ways you could always train your mind, you know.
So true. Do you have any books you like? Or listen to?
There's like 2-3 books. Actually, homeboy mentioned one of my favorite authors, Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
When he was in his heel. One of my favorite books is Outwitting the Devil. And that's like a very, have you ever heard of this one?
I know the book, but tell me about it.
Yeah, great book. It could show you what to do at certain critical moments in your life that could go left or right, you know, and just, it's a very good book. I think people should read it. He gets granted an interview with the devil.
Wow.
And he asks the devil serious questions, and for some truth, the devil is bound to tell the truth in the interview. So I don't want to give too much of the book away, but he really asks a lot of questions. And this book was written a very long time ago, but if you read this book right now, it'll never make more sense.
Oof. Okay.
So crazy. Like, you see everything that's happening in the world right now. It's just this guy forewarning and telling us through this interview, you know. So I really think it's an amazing book.
What would happen if more people embraced discomfort?
You get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and you could deal with situations a lot better, you know. Like anything from a wild dog to you get a flat tire, you got to be able to like, I'm gonna figure it out. It's okay.
I love that. Okay, tell me about the bear fighting. Like, you know, you do it, no gloves.
No gloves.
No mouth guard, right? Or
Yes.
mouth guard?
No mouth guard. We have the same exact rules as the UFC. The only difference is we have no gloves. So more knockouts, more cuts, obviously, and more submissions, because now you don't have all this tape and gauze around your hand, plus a glove, plus their gloves, stopping you from getting to certain compromising positions. So when the fight hits the floor, it's at a different speed and a different pace. So we've been doing really, really good. We had 2 shows. We had a show in April. We had a show May 1st as well.
Did you create this style?
Yeah, I created this.
Wow, what's
this
it
is my
called?
baby,
Bear.
Game Bred Fighting Championships.
Oh, yeah. Game Bred Fighting
Championships.
Championships. Y'all need to go and check this out. Oh, my God.
You got to come one of the shows. Now that you're in Miami more often, we got another one in September.
Okay.
And another one in December in Miami.
Text me after the date and we'll just lock it in.
100%.
Fucking love to,
You
sweetie.
will
I'd love
have
to support
the
it.
best time of your life.
I bet.
It's a whole different speed when these guys are throwing down. It's crazy.
You fight too?
No. I right now I'm still in the contract in the UFC. I could make it happen. I could. They're very giving and gracious to me. They've let me fight for other promotions. They let me do other things. So if I was asking them to let me fight for my own promotion, I know they would. But right now is not the time.
Right. But all these guys are out there and they're amazing and they're doing it. So like, what's the difference between when you're watching a show with just like the MMA versus the bear like fighting?
The main difference is, you know, they also have to be a little bit more peculiar how they pick their strikes for where it lands in their face for their hands, and also knowing that if you get hit barehanded, it's not like with a glove.
So it's worse
Way worse.
because you can just knock out straight away.
The impact's a lot. There's 4 ounces of cushion on these gloves, and they're all purposely put right here in your knuckles. Now, I love the gloves because it takes care of your hands. But if you condition your hands for bare knuckle, then your hands will get tough too, and then they become more of a weapon. So when you do hit the chin, because the chin itself you can't make it strong. You can't, calcify these bones like you can your hands. Your hands, you could calcify them. You hit somebody in the jaw, bare knuckle, it's more accurate, and it's more how the sport started and how a real fight is, It's one good shot, ends the fight. You don't need a glove, which also saves the fighters in a way because now they don't take as many shots, So if you get hit with like a little glove and I hit you 10 times instead of I hit you like 3 times with this one, because as soon as you get knocked down, it's not like boxing where you have an 8 count, you get up. When you get knocked down and they touch you 1 or 2 more times, the referee stops it. So you took 3 punches.
Okay.
In
So
boxing, in boxing, they knock you down. You got 8 seconds to recuperate to 10. You get back up. Now you go 2-3 more rounds taking, another 60-80 punches. And that's why we don't have a lot of deaths in the UFC, because though it looks more painful and stuff, it's a little bit safer, and it's kind of the same thing with the bare knuckle. One shot could just end it all,
Crazy. Where do you prefer being, on the floor or up?
On the feet. I'm a stand-up fighter, so I always like to, beat motherfuckers' asses. I don't.
So you're known for that part.
Yeah, I'm
more.
known for the knockouts. I'm known for very good boxing, very good kicking, very good knees, very good elbows, and I have very good defensive wrestling. And I use my wrestling offensively sometimes, but usually it's more to set up my hands, because that's the aspect of the sport that I love, is to take somebody's air out and just bam, clean their clock.
So fucking good. I love this.
Just take them out, because in my sport, that's how, like Kobe Bryant goes out there, and rest in peace, he goes out there and he puts 50 points in the game. That's how he separates himself from the next player.
Right.
In our sport, I'm going to eliminate you. I'm going to hit the delete button on you, and that is what's going to make me rise. That's what's going to make my stock go up, and that's what's going to feed me and my family. So it's nothing personal.
Yeah, of course it's not.
Nothing personal.
So how do you, okay, that's what I want to know.
But delete button every time.
I love that. So okay,
Just delete the whole thing like you never existed. Delete.
Okay, but I want to understand this, because this always interested me with all fighters. I've had Ryan on here, Ryan Garcia and Sean O'Malley and blah, blah, blah. This is what interests me. How do you literally turn on the button to say kill? Like, how do you go to like boom when you're in a fight, but you may like the person? So like, shit, I'm going to knock your fucking face out. How do you get it? What's the switch mentally?
That is a switch. I've had to fight, people I train with and this and stuff, and it's not the best, but we are doing it. I'm doing it, at least for me, for my family. When I got into the sport, I always knew that I didn't get in here to make friends and high five anybody. I got into the sport to feed me, my mom, my dad, and then my kids came along. So I'm not gonna change my mentality in any way. We could be friends after. Win or lose, we could be friends, because I ain't a sore loser either. So if I've lost, it's no biggie to me. And if I won, it shouldn't be like that, because it's nothing personal. So when I get in there, even if I like the person, I got one objective, and that's my immediate family and me. This is how we survive. If I lose, I don't move on. If I win, I move on.
Powerful. Okay, I want to switch into like you being this king of Miami, because you got this nickname. You are like the king of Miami. How do you think that Miami has shaped who you are?
Oh, Miami's 100% shaped who I am in many, many ways. And it's I didn't speak English till I was like 12, 13 years old. Yeah. So like...
Solo español.
Español no más, baby. ¿Qué hola hacer?
¿Sí?
Dímelo. No. Spanish only, and then my English is like...
No.
Very chop,
No,
like,
it's Spanglish. Pero
yeah.
ahora es perfecto.
Every, first grade I fail, like that. Like my Spanish was like, my English was very, very bad.
That's crazy, because I don't even hear that. Like, it's crazy.
No way. Everybody always tells me, like, you're from Miami, huh? I go, yes.
Yes, I can tell you're from Miami, but you sound like you've got a great Miami accent.
Definitely Miami accent.
Yeah.
I got that. But whenever I leave the state, I love it, because anywhere I go, they'll be like, where you from? Like, oh, Miami's like, I knew it. Anyway, as soon as I leave the country, people know.
So what does being the king of Miami mean to you?
It's amazing, because I'm from here.
Yeah.
And when I was coming up fighting, I wasn't necessarily known in Miami, because the sport wasn't famous in Miami. So like the core community, people knew me, And though the videos with Kimball's fights had millions of views, that was more like a worldwide thing. It wasn't necessarily in Miami. So, for example, I would go to New York or California, and I was 10 times more famous than I ever was in Miami. So it was one of those things where they say a prophet is deemed last in his city. And it really was like that. I even got famous in Japan before I got famous in Miami.
Wow.
I was famous in other parts of the world, far away from here, like recognizable. I had to go to the airport, and on my way out, 2 or 3 people asked me for a picture, and that's how I'll know, like, man, I'm kind of known in this area. You know, like if I go to Colombia or something, it'd be like pretty crazy. And Miami was like not really. And then overnight, it just became
After the fight?
Yeah, after certain fights, everybody in Miami, because I got like 50-something fights, and I didn't get popular in Miami until I had like 30-something fights, you know?
Really?
And it's like everybody and their mom, their grandma,
knows
everybody
who you
knows
are.
me. And it's the most humbling thing ever, you know?
Yes. For
'Cause
real.
I could be having the worst day ever, and somebody will come up to me and just tell me like something crazy, like, hey man, I lost 20 pounds because of you, because I saw your videos and how you pushed through and what you did in fighting and where you come from. I just want to say thank you. And I could be having the worst effing day of my effing life, but you hear that and it's genuine, and it's just like, what am I tripping about, man? I'm alive, I'm healthy, what?
Yes. King, how do you push through fear?
Depends, you know, 2 things. I'm not trying to be funny, but I have to pay for that feeling, because I don't really like fear too much, you know, because I'm not scared of anything, like snakes.
Really?
No, there's nothing that I fear, like heights or anything. There's nothing that I fear whatsoever.
I guess you can't at the level of what you do and what you play at. Like,
No, because there's a lot of fighters that do. It's because, you know, in scripture it says a man shouldn't have any fear in his heart. So I put all my fear in God. I'm like, you just deal with it. Anything I could be afraid of, I just let, as God says, let me deal with this, son. So I put all my fear in him. But how do I deal with fear? Real fear, like if it's hitting you in the soul, I pray to God. That's the only way you can deal with fear. And fear is a powerful thing. Fear, I remember feeling a little bit of fear when I'd be like the new kid at school, and there was like legit bad kids, and they were like kind of picking on me, and I feel like, man, there's like 3 of them. My gosh, what am I gonna do? And then like I snapped out of that. I'm like, I'm not gonna feel this fear no more. Somebody slaps me, somebody does anything to me that offends my character, like puts their hands on me, I'm gonna let them have it. And when I started doing that, that fear started like
subsiding.
leaving. So address the fear is another thing too. After you pray hard, is confront that fear head on. If you, simple example, you're afraid of the dark, go spend some time in the dark. Turn the lights off and, you know, be in there 5 minutes. Start getting comfortable being in the dark. Do some type of activity in the dark. I'm just being like very basic there, but confront it head
that's
on.
really good. No, that's actually really powerful. I've just thought about that. I'm like, I'm scared of snakes, so I make
So
sure
look at pictures of snakes.
Right, yeah.
Look at videos of snakes, you know,
yeah,
get comfortable
like
with
if I
it.
saw a fucking cobra in this room right now, you would not, I would scream so fucking hard. I would not even like a fucking kid. I would be terrified of a big, fat fucking snake.
Don't worry, I got you.
I know, I feel protective with you. Yeah.
Like this,
Would you be able to just, you know
I'll
what
make-
to do?
Baby girl, I'll make your skin bag out of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Fuck, come here.
I love that. But have you ever had to fight something that maybe wasn't a human
Dogs.
or whatever? Really?
Dogs, yeah, dogs.
Were
dogs.
they like pit or something? Like,
When I was young, this time I got wiped out. This is a clear KO. I was 9 years old. This Doberman pincher got me. You can see the scars still here. Let me see. Can you see him? There's somewhere here.
where? What is it?
Right here? I can see him. They're right
Can you
there.
see it on camera? Oh my God.
Maybe you can still see
Yeah,
him
yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah.
zoom
Slice
in
that
right
way.
there.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
Got me good. This
dog.
fucking Doberman got me so good. And I was this time I was truly scared, because it was like 10 of us. We used to live in the apartment building. After school, there was like these tow trucks that were parked outside of the building, and in the fence there was an opening that was a little wider, so we'd all go through there, right? And we'd get in the tow truck, and there was like mattress on the floor, so we'd do like flips or jump off the tow truck from the top part into the mattress, and we'd have the time of our lives. And here comes this kid that used to live somewhere in the neighborhood on a tricycle. He was like 4 years old, but his parents would let him out with his Doberman pinchers. So when that kid would come, we'd all run off the trucks, go through the gate, through the little opening, and chill out, because these pinchers, we didn't know what to do. Well, shit, the kid came out, and me and this other kid got a bright idea, like, why don't we just stay at the top of the tow truck and just chill out? And he comes riding with his tricycles. This kid's like 4 years old, but the dogs knew to protect him, but they didn't really listen to the kid. For some reason, the dog gets on the flatbed of the thing and starts like barking like that. And I'm like, holy smokes. And I see the opening to the fence and I'm like, I feel like I could jump down into the mattress like I've always done and outrun the dog because I'm going to go like that. And the dog is over here. So I'm going to be like in front and go like that. And so I go for it like a dummy. And that dog catches me, fire. And he starts shaking on my leg. And I was so fucking mad and so pissed. And I punched him, bah! And what did the dog do? He bit me hard and I was like, sorry. And that was one of the first times in my life I was like, man, I cowered out because I was like 9 years old. There was nothing I could do in that. That dog just shook my leg until I didn't even move, and then he let me go and he took off. And I lit my ass home. I was hurt for a little bit.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
But that's when I'm young. Later on,
Right.
I fought some dogs again, and I got the better of them. You know,
Really?
because I do a lot of road work. So I would say I kind of had like a little fear of dogs, you know, because I've done a lot of road work. So when I'm running, a lot of times I'm in the street. I don't like running in tracks.
Right.
And I don't like running in treadmills.
Right.
So I'm running 4 to 6 miles
Dang.
in the street, going 3 miles this way, going 3 miles back, or going 2 miles this way, going 2 miles back. It's usually something like that every other day, every day. So I do encounter dogs. It's not that I hate dogs because I love dogs. I have like 4 in my house.
Yeah.
But I have had to fight dogs a couple times.
And when they come at you, you just know what to do?
I mean, sometimes it's just you not backing down from the dog. Like the dog comes and you standing up strong,
Yeah.
where the dog is like up.
Yeah.
And other times I've had to react. Like I've had to grab dogs and throw them over somebody's yard. Like I've grabbed a dog or two because they like straight up bit me, you know. And I punched, kicked it, and then when it got closer, I done grabbed this thing and I feel bad and I flung them over somebody's fence and I took off running.
This shit's fucking amazing. All right, so this question is a little bit on the other side of that. What has losing taught you that winning couldn't?
Apply yourself even more. Sacrifice even more. You thought you were doing a lot? There's more we could do. And you might be like, how? There's just not even enough hours in the day. Well, maybe. Let's say you were getting ready for a marathon and you're just like running hard every day. And you're like, oh, I need to run more miles. Maybe we got to think also outside of the box. And maybe for the first time in our lives, we got to just sleep more. And your times go up because your body's healing now. And now every day you're recovering and you're a little bit stronger than the last day. And so now you break those times, you know. So that's something that losing has taught me. Is like, I know I'm going so hard in this department. There must be something else that I'm doing wrong. Let me think outside of the box. In my instance, maybe it was my diet, or maybe it wasn't enough rest, you know?
Wow, this is fucking amazing. All right, let's do my rapid fire round because I love this. At the end of every show, I love to do this rapid fire round of questions. All right, let's do this. Are you ready? So, answer the first thing that comes to your mind. Miami or anywhere else?
I'm going to tell you what we all say here in Miami.
Yeah.
All right? Don't get offended to you and wherever the F you from. This is what all Miami boys say straight up.
Yeah.
Dade County talk. I'm going to talk to you like if you were another Miamian. Miami, the rest is parking. You understand?
The rest is what?
Parking.
Parking.
Just to park your car and then walk your ass on over to Miami. That's how we feel here.
That is so funny. Discipline or motivation?
Do you see why is that guy over there nodding his
Yes.
head so much? Because he agrees.
Right.
Bet he's probably from
Everyone
Miami.
says this. I know. Everyone in Miami is like, it's only Miami. Okay, discipline or motivation?
Discipline.
One trait every champion needs.
Discipline.
Biggest lesson from defeat?
Discipline.
Hard work or talent?
Depends on what field. Because, you know, I'm not trying to be like asshole, but times have changed now. I feel like you could be talented and you know, you made one video that went viral, and then after that you started making crazy boatloads of money. Like the Cash Me Outside girl. I'm not trying to diss her or nothing, right? But that girl, she went online and said Cash Me Outside, which was super funny, had me cracking up, had the whole world laughing. But would you say it was hard work or just her talent, you know? So it just depends the situation. Luck is luck also.
That's true. I think we make our own luck, though. I do. One thing people misunderstand about you?
That's a lot. There's a lot. How much time? This one ain't a rapid fire. This is a lot. Misunderstand about me? Let me think about this one.
Well, I think that you're actually a really soft soul.
Thank you. Thank you, young lady. We'll just put a lot.
That's a good answer. Best advice you've ever received?
I'll keep it short since it's rapid fire, but you gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
You gotta want it. In my sport, you gotta want it. You want to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to be at the track at 6. Like, you gotta want it. That means that the day before, either you went to sleep right on time, or you didn't get enough rest, but you want it so bad that it doesn't matter. On my sport, it's a big thing. Like, you gotta want it. You know.
Love that. If your life was a movie, what would the title be?
Thank you, God.
That's so beautiful.
Because a movie about me is crazy. You know, like, I'm just another Chico from Miami that has really good hands. They could fight. They got blessed by God with that gift. And at one point, I didn't have like places to sleep for long periods of my life. You know, I was bouncing around everywhere, and I was just chasing the dream. And I didn't come from a family that had anything to give me besides love and affection and wisdom. You know, so I worked for everything I got. So to think that they'll do be a movie about me, it's only because of God.
So beautiful. Well, you are the epitome of hope and showing people that hard work and really committing and belief and discipline pays off. And I love your story. I love how you have fought your way to the top.
Amen.
And you deserve it. And I'm so grateful as, you know, a person here to have you on the show and have all these amazing people learning from you. Yes, come on, King. We want to see you fight again. We're so excited. Yes.
You called it into existence.
Amen.
UFC's going to call me any moment, and they're going to be like, how much did you want? We're going to double it. Okay.
I have literally called this into existence. Thank you for coming on the show today. Jorge Masvidal, you've been amazing. Guys, you can follow him below. All the tags are below. You might even see us making some content after this. Who knows? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for your ears, your eyes, and your time. We appreciate you so much. Share this with a friend. There's somebody out there I know you want to make laugh today, and I know you want to inspire. This is the show for you. Thank you for coming, King. We'll see y'all again next time for more. Bye for now.